I'm Karen Palmer, a WSU Master Gardener. Peppers are a very good thing to put in your garden. They fit in a very small space, so even if your garden space is limited, it's easy to sneak in a few pepper plants. There's two things you really have to keep in mind when you select your peppers. The first is the amount of heat that you're comfortable with in your food. There are sweet peppers of all sizes, shapes, and colors. There are spicy peppers like an Anaheim. There are hot peppers like a jalapeno or a serrano. And then there are the uber hot peppers like a Ghost or a Carolina Reaper. So select what you're comfortable with, and do remember that something like a jalapeno, if you don't want all the heat but you want the flavor, you can scrape out the membranes and the seeds from the inside, and that reduces the heat somewhat. The second thing to keep in mind is the days to maturity, and that clock starts ticking the day you plant your pepper in the ground. So most peppers are going to be 70 to 80 days, and most people in Western Washington can plant those easily. The really hot ones will be a lot longer, and so depending on your growing conditions, you may not be able to get to ripen those. So just keep that in mind. Peppers like a neutral soil, so if you haven't added lime to your garden area already, just put a handful of lime in the planting hole. They also like a lot of fertilizer, so I usually add a little bit of organic fertilizer directly into the planting hole just to give them a good boost, and I may need to supplement it throughout the growing season. And the last thing I like to do is put some compost around the plant after I plant it. That kind of keeps the soil warm, keeps the moisture in, and just gradually improves your soil. Peppers like a lot of sunlight, so you want to put them in an area where you get at a minimum 8 hours of sunlight. And other than that, keep them fertilized, water, nice deep watering, say 3 times a week, and you're good to go. Peppers are pretty easy. In order to plant them, I've already dug my planting hole. I've got my supplements in there if I needed to, and then I just gently get it out of the pot without yanking on it and loosen up the roots. These are pretty good shape, and then I'm going to plant it the same level it was in the pot. So the planting hole is about the right depth. Just backfill with the soil, press it in a little bit. If you have both sweet and hot, you want to make sure you keep your tag in there so you know whether you're picking a sweet pepper or a hot pepper. Some of them can look very similar. And water it in, and you're good to go. So plant your peppers, and you can harvest a peck of pickled peppers. Thanks.